Hello, my name is Addison Poyner, and I am in HSC 4713, Planning and Evaluation, Section 04 of 6, Spring 2016, and I will be covering Chapter 6, Mission Statement, Goals, and Objectives. The learning objectives for this chapter include define a mission statement, goals, and objectives, be able to write your own mission statement, goals, and objectives, describe the relationship between the mission statement, goals, and objectives. Identify and explain 3 different types of objectives. Explain the 3 types of impact objectives. What are the SMART objectives? Explain the 4 elements of objectives. The mission statement, goals, and objectives provide health promotion programs with a direction and groundwork. They are essentially the basics of a health promotion program. The figure in the slide shows the relationship between the mission statement, goals, and objectives. As you can see, the inverted triangle is displayed from largest to smallest, symbolizing that the ideas in each section of the triangle go from broad to narrow. For example, the mission statement is more broad and generalized, while the objectives are more narrow and specific. In addition, this figure also depicts that objectives are measurable while goals are not. The differences between goals and objectives will be discussed more thoroughly throughout the rest of the lecture. What is a mission statement? A mission statement is a short narrative that describes the general focus or purpose of the program. The main purpose of a mission statement is to develop an aim of the program and to help guide the developmental process of goals and objectives of the program. It is important to be able to distinguish the difference between a mission statement and a vision statement. A mission statement describes the current efforts of a program, while a vision statement is a brief description of where the program will be in the future. The key differences in these definitions is the word current and future. Current distinguishing a mission statement and future distinguishing a vision statement. In addition, mission statements vary depending on the health promotion program and on the setting. The 4 different settings include community settings, healthcare settings, school settings, and worksite settings. There are 3 main components of a mission statement. A mission statement must include the primary function of the health promotion program, the purpose or reasons for implementing the program and its activities, and individuals that will take part in the program and benefit from it as well. These individuals are known as stakeholders. Now that we have discussed what a mission statement is and the purpose of a mission statement, here I have provided you with some examples of mission statements. The first example I have is the mission of the Act First Health Promotion Program is to provide a multitude of primary prevention activities for individuals of the community in order to prevent disease and illness. The second mission statement is this program is aimed at helping patients understand and cope with physical and emotional changes associated with being diagnosed with life-changing diseases. The third and last example, the purpose of the Gator Great Health Promotion Program is to develop a program that provides college students with experiences that will motivate them to improve their physical and emotional health. In the examples mentioned, there are key words such as mission, the program is aimed to, and the purpose of the program that describe characteristics of mission statements. Not all mission statements will have these key words, so it is important to know that mission statements describe an overall scope of the program. As you can see, all 3 examples are broad and describe the purpose and direction of the program. These mission statements have laid the groundwork for the rest of the program to follow. Now that we have covered mission statements, we are going to move on to talking about program goals. What is a program goal? A program goal is defined as a broad statement of direction, written in non-technical language. Program goals are more specific than mission statements, but broader than objectives. Goals are global, more encompassing, and provide an overall direction of the program. With that said, goals do not have a deadline and take much longer to complete. Program goals are long-term and describe the general intent of the program. The purpose of program goals are to state a direction as to where the program should go, explain what the program should achieve, describe all aspects or components of the program, and allow us to develop objectives for the program. How to write program goals. Unlike mission statements, goals do not need to be written in complete sentences. Program goals should be simple and concise and describe who will be affected and what will change as a result of the program. Program goals should also include verbs such as improve, increase, promote, reduce, minimize, and prevent. Depending on the program, some programs may have several goals, while others may have only one goal. Health promotion programs vary depending on the topic and target population, so it is important that all goals adhere to what the health promotion program is trying to accomplish. It is important to remember the two components that I mentioned before: who will be affected and what will change as a result of the program. Some examples of program goals include: the first is to prevent the spread of measles in children of Alachua County. Second, to reduce the incidence of smallpox in college students at the University of Florida. The third one, to reduce the incidence of cardiovascular disease in employees of the Smith Company. The last example, the survival rate of diabetes will be increased through heart-healthy meals and exercise programs. The examples in the slide all describe goals that can be related to different health promotion programs. It is clear that each program goal is concise, clear, and includes a verb such as to reduce, to prevent, or to increase. Most importantly, each goal answers two important questions that I emphasized in the slides prior: who will be affected and what will change as a result of the program. Now that we have covered program goals, our next topic is objectives. What is an objective? Objectives essentially break down the program goals into smaller parts that provide specific, measurable actions by which the goal can be accomplished. The key words in this definition is measurable actions. Several objectives are put into place in order to achieve the overarching goal of the program. Now, knowing the definition and purpose of objectives, the relationship depicted is more clear, that objectives have a more narrow scope than goals and mission statements do. There are three different types of objectives, and they are organized in hierarchical order. The three levels of objectives are process objectives, impact objectives, and outcome objectives. Under impact objectives, there are three additional objectives. These include learning objectives, behavioral objectives, and environmental objectives. Each level of objectives allows for program planners to plan programs more effectively. Once these objectives are achieved, program goals will be achieved as well, making the program an overall success. Each level of objectives are different and cover various tasks throughout the program. For example, process objectives help form the initial start of the program. Impact objectives are the immediate effect of the program once it is implemented. And outcome objectives are the ultimate outcomes that the program achieves. The three levels of objectives will be explained more in depth in the slides that follow. To begin with the different level objectives, process objectives are the first level of objectives and focus specifically on program resources such as materials, funds, and space. Intervention activities such as are they appropriate for the program, priority population exposure, attendance, participation, and feedback. Process objectives are especially important because they are needed to carry out programs and focus on all the program inputs. An example of a process objective is stated here. By 2017, the program planners will increase the number of nutritional diet educational sessions offered to the county residents from 10 to 15 per year. As you can see, this objective discusses the increase in educational sessions which have to do with program inputs and activities, making it a process objective. Next, we have impact objectives. They are the second level of objectives and adhere to changes made in awareness, knowledge, attitude, skill, behavior, or environment after the implementation of a program. They are immediate observable effects of a program. There are three types of impact objectives: learning, behavioral, and environmental. The diagram represents the breakdown of the impact objectives. L standing for learning objectives, B stands for behavioral objectives, and E stands for environmental objectives. I will explain more in depth about these objectives in the slides that follow. Learning objectives are the educational tools that are needed to gain desired behavior change. Within the learning objectives, there is another hierarchy of objectives which include awareness, knowledge, attitude, and skill development. The hierarchy of objectives becomes more complex as you move from awareness through skill development. In order for an individual to make a behavior change to enhance one's health, they need to be aware of the health concern, expand their knowledge in order to understand the health concern, maintain a positive attitude that allows them to deal with the concern, and finally they will need to have all the necessary skills to engage in the health enhancing behavior. An example of a learning objective is when asked through a survey, 2 out of 5 viewers of the Train Dirty, Eat Clean television show will be able to identify and explain the do's and don'ts of healthy eating. This learning objective is measuring the awareness of healthy eating in individuals. As I mentioned before, awareness is just one level of objectives within the learning objectives. There are several other statements that could cover knowledge, attitude, and skill development. Behavioral objectives describe actions that are taken by the priority population that will resolve a health problem and aid in achieving the goal of the program. This may include modifying a current behavior, ending a behavior completely, or adopting a new behavior. Examples of behavioral objectives include adherence to exercise, compliance to taking medicine, coping with stress, self-care, and preventative actions. Preventative actions can include wearing a seatbelt or brushing your teeth. An example of a behavioral objective is stated here. 2 years after the smoking cessation program has ended, 55% of those who attended the majority of the classes will continue to be non-smokers. This objective discusses behavior change within individuals who will quit smoking even after attending a smoking cessation program. The last of the 3 impact objectives is the environmental objectives, which explains causes of health problems outside of individuals' personal behaviors. For example, health problems can be caused by the environment and not personal behavior or lifestyle choices. Some of these health problems are caused by physical, social, psychological, economic, service, or political environmental effects. The physical environment can include clean air or clean water. The social environment includes social support and peer pressure. The psychological environment consists of the emotional learning climate. The economic environment is the affordability of healthcare. The service environment includes access to healthcare and equity in healthcare. And finally, the political environment consists of health policy. An example of an environmental objective is stated. By the end of 2016, 75% of individuals who didn't have access to health care in the beginning of the year will have access. This objective is environmental because it covers the service environment in which not all individuals have access to health care. Moving on, outcome objectives are the ultimate objectives of a program that are directed to make changes in health status, social benefits, risk factors, or quality of life. Since program goals are typically broken down into several objectives, once the outcome objectives are accomplished, then the overall program goal will be accomplished as well. An example of an outcome objective is stated as 2/3 of those who participate in a diet and exercise program will use 20% fewer sick days at work than the individuals who do not participate in the program. The statement is considered an outcome objective because it describes an overall outcome as a result of the program. In order for objectives to be written successfully, there are 4 main elements that need to be included when writing objectives. These elements include outcome, priority population, conditions, and criterion. The outcome explains what will change. The priority population explains who specifically will change. The condition explains when the change will occur, and the criterion explains how much change will happen. The diagram created in this slide shows the flow and meaning of the different elements. For example, in the process objective example that we used in a previous slide, by 2017, the program planners will increase the number of nutritional diet educational sessions offered to the county residents from 10 to 15 per year. This is a perfect example of a well-written objective that contains the 4 necessary elements. In this example, the outcome, or the what, is the increase in number of diet educational sessions. The priority population, or the who, is the program planners. The conditions, or the when, is by 2017. And finally, the criterion, or how much will change, is from 10 to 15 educational sessions per year. All in all, the process objective example that we used helps clarify and properly put all the elements of an objective together in order to create a well-written objective. The flowchart describes an overall direction and movement that is involved in health promotion programs. As you can see, the mission is the center of the program, or in this case, the flowchart. Goals and objectives are placed in the outer portion of the flowchart as they describe where the program is going and how we are achieving the goals and objectives of the program. This flowchart describes all the important aspects for creating and implementing a health promotion program, asking important questions along the way. Finally, it is important that objectives are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. In order for it to be possible for individuals to achieve objectives and work their way towards a program goal, the SMART objectives needs to be taken into consideration. According to the CDC, specific means the objective is clear, concrete, and detailed, meaning there's no misunderstanding when it comes to knowing what is expected of the individual. Measurable means the objectives can be measured in a way that we can see change occurring. Achievable or attainable means the objectives are possible to achieve with the resources that are at hand. Realistic or relevant means it is possible to achieve the objectives with the resources, personnel, and time that is available. Finally, time-based means there is a time frame put into place in order to set boundaries around the objectives. After watching the lecture, you will move on to complete a worksheet for the class assignment. The worksheet contains 15 different statements. The purpose of this assignment is to be able to distinguish the differences between mission statements, goals, and objectives. You'll be asked to match each statement A, B, or C, A representing mission statement, B representing goal, and C representing objective. You may use the answer choices more than once as there are 3 answer choices to 15 statements. In addition to matching, if an objective is used, it will be up to you to describe whether the objective being used is a process objective, impact objective, stating the specific impact objective, or outcome objective. Once you have identified the type of objective, please describe your reasoning as to why you chose this type of objective. For example, if you identified a statement as a learning objective, please state if the objective is covering awareness, knowledge, attitude, or skill development. Finally, some answers may be used once, twice, or not at all. Thank you for watching my lecture regarding Chapter 6, Mission Statement, Goals, and Objectives. The references as to where I found my information are presented on this slide and the following slide.